Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BA'Shem YAHAWASHI, BA'Shem RaKakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim, Wa'akwathium, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And today's lesson is going to be about how is how basically the earth is given in the hand of the wicked, and all this, a lot of the wickedness that goes on. Slakia about that pause. You know, sometimes when you have a scripture, you have to just bring it out. Make sure you find the you have to find that thing before it leaves you. Anyway, so, which actually, funnily enough, let me actually get that precept as well. And already I'm kind of not following it after. Okay, so first off, Psalm chapter 119, verse 60, I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. All right. And what happened? And what happened when people are over here being lazy and saying shit like, oh, the Lord, Luke chapter 12, verse 45, but and if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maid servants, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him asunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. Okay, so the importance of Slakia about this major side note about the lesson, but the thing is, when you get stuff like this, okay, especially when it comes with YAHAWAH, you have to, number one, take it seriously. Number two, get on it as fast as possible so that you don't. Okay, you need to make haste to keep the commandments, make haste to repent, not say, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week, or I'll do it next year. Next year is when I'm gonna take the big serious time to what's the word? Next year is the serious time where I'm gonna take all the stuff. And that's Slakia is another one. Slakia, I'm getting overloaded. Slakia. Luke chapter 12, verse 20, verse 15, verse 16, he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully, and he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do, I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years, take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But Yahweh said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee, then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So if you do all this stuff saying, oh yeah, I'm going to focus on the truth next year, I'm going to focus on this truth after I'm done being a hoe, after I'm done, being a demon and whatnot, then I'm going to go repent. All right. And then in a time when you don't know, either the Lord could just delete you, or the Lord could make it so that Yahawashi returns as either right before or right after you just finish all your preparation, all the barn stuff that you did, and then all that preparation, all that work that you did, it was just all for naught. All right. And this is why just whenever something important, all right, especially that comes from the Lord, makes its way to you, you gotta you gotta, hit it immediately, all right, or get it done immediately, and don't take the stuff for granted, especially when the Lord is dealing with you. The Lord puts His Spirit in you to do righteously, all right. Slacky about that. Side note. Moving on. The earth is given in the hand of the wicked, and the topic that we're going to be talking about today, besides that, is the fact that the judges that are currently judging the world, all right, judging the people, they are unrighteous judges, all right. So firstly, I just want to point this out. Where is it? Okay, so first there's John chapter 7 verse 24. Judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. And this is a commandment. This is basically things that we have to do. We can't be judging based off of our own feelings, based off of this is what we see, so let's just assume. We're just going to make an assumption based off of whatever. All right, you're looking at the here and now instead of trying to figure out how did things get to where it was, what was all the contributing factors, who are the people involved, who are the parties involved that made things in the way that it is now. And as a result, we get this. I'm going to let this video play 2 minutes. Yeah, I'll just let it play.
On a Bob Norman investigation of a so-called youth term for violating his probation. But as Bob Norman reports today, the judge who handed out the harsh sentence had a dramatic change of heart.
I just ask you to please forgive me, Lord.
Another chance. That's what 23-year-old Herbert Smith wanted today from Judge Matthew Destry, to reconsider his 60-year prison sentence for violating probation, 47 more years than even the prosecutor had asked for, prompting a petition that gathered 20,000 supporters for Smith.
He's a burglar. He's a robber. There's tremendous amounts of evidence supporting it.
The prosecutor pointed out that Destry had given Smith a break 3 years ago when he sentenced him to just 2 years in prison as a youthful offender on convictions of home burglaries and a strong-arm robbery. But after serving his time, Smith failed to comply with nearly all the terms of his probation, culminating in the October suspended driving arrest in a car with a convicted felon, a box of bullets, and suspected stolen goods.
I'm here to say that 60 years just does not seem fair and reasonable.
Pastor Alan Jackson, who has never met Smith, protested the sentence and promised that if the judge gave him that chance, his church would mentor him.
I have been trying to save you, Herbert Smith, for the past 3 years. Clearly, you were still out there leading the thug life.
Then he mentioned the pastor.
Good people, they want to find you a job, Herbert Smith. They want to keep you out of trouble and away from bad influences.
Then Destry dropped the bombshell.
I have decided to suspend your sentence of 60 years.
Destry gave Smith that chance, along with 15 more years probation.
Mr. Smith, you have become a symbol of a young man at a crossroads. Which path will you choose?
You might say that Herbert Smith got the best Christmas gift he could ever imagine today, but Judge Destry was very clear. If he goes off that path, he's going back to prison for 60 years. In Fort Lauderdale, I'm Bob Norman, Local 10 News.
His lucky day, no doubt about it. The pastor, Alan Jackson, promised the judge he would help make sure Smith complied with the court orders, and if Smith did not, he would let the court know.
Okay, so let's look.
Clearly, you were still out there leading the thug life.
Then he mentioned the pastor.
Good people, they want to find you from bad influences.
Then Destry dropped the bombshell.
I have decided to suspend your sentence of 60 years.
So he was saying that he was going to give him 60 years for what?
Offender facing a controversial 60-year prison term for violating his probation, but it's
All right, so for violating his probation, he was going to get 60 years in jail. Okay, and then because I'm not an expert prison sentences, but they were going to give this 23-year-old man 60 years in prison. Oh wow, it was over there. 60 years in prison for violating his probation by driving with a suspended license. Okay, 60 years for that, when there's a lot of people that are, molesting and raping children, okay, that get 5 years. I literally just saw that, just yesterday, where some dude that was raping some kids or whatever, he got 5 years. They barely get anything. It really goes to show the favoritism. Okay. Oh yeah, over here, let's look at the comments, because I know a lot of people are saying that this was not, surprisingly enough, a lot of people were saying that this is an injustice. Just because he said, oh yeah, I'm not gonna give you 60 years, that doesn't mean anything. The fact that he was already gonna get 60 years for violating his probation is already just absurd. It's crazy that how quickly and easily Esau will give Jake anything. Slack it. The thing is that a lot of these criminal charges are not based off of an actual established, does the punishment fit the crime type of thing. It's just a matter of, oh, I feel like giving you this, so I'm going to give you this. That's what they say with these whole life plus 60 years, life plus whatever. What does that mean? If they already have a life sentence, why are you adding on an additional number if they have no chance of getting out with life? Okay, that means that they're there already. And in addition to that, why keep them in the jail for life when you can just kill them if they deem them to be a not fit for society? All right, which is what YAHAWASHI does. Instead of locking people up in captivity like that, he just in many instances just kills certain people. All right, now because I did want to read some of this. So Straybury 5991 says, I've seen people get 20 years for murder and rape, and child predators get 5 years. 60 years for this is insane. It is insane, as I previously said. There's also and also they have Isa. The fact that a 60-year sentence can be instantly suspended by a single judge's emotional change of heart shows that there's something grossly wrong with American law. And once again, I don't even remember how I found this. I do remember. Basically, this is the American court system. These are the judges that are judging the people and are judging things unrighteously. So if it was an Edomite doing all this stuff, of course, then they would say, oh yeah, smack on the wrist, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that, you can go, or like we've seen with these things, 20 years for murder, okay, 20 years, and then child predators, 5 years and stuff like that. Like it's clearly, because there was a statistic that basically said if your child gets lost, they are more likely to be safe. They're statistically more likely to be safe with a random black don't know. Okay, the biggest random black man that they don't know compared to an older or an adult white man, Edomite man. All right. So with that in mind, I think it's safe to say that with that one statistic, okay, and not so with that one statistic, I think it's very easy for us to understand that a lot of these predatory crimes, all right, happen from these Edomites, and as a result, okay, I'm not saying that's definitive, but we have the thing, okay, we have the understanding, as well as the one statistic. We have the thing that that's the thing is also the fact that some certain conviction statistics are also skewed based on the fact that a lot of times these police are more willing to let Edomites go compared to Jake, where they will condemn an innocent Jake, or they will find something to condemn a Jake on. So slacky about that being so long-winded, but the point of the matter is that a lot of these things, they want to be more lenient to their own people, all right, whereas for Jake they are more harsh, which is the case for stuff like this. Like if they really think that this is supposed to be, oh yeah, we're happy with the judge is being fair, the judge is being good. No, that's not the case, because the judge was about to hit him with 60 years. All right, 60 by Dan Soloha. 60 years is for more. Slakia. 60 years for way less than murder is actually insane. I'm glad he got a second chance. I hope he used it wisely. So yes, it is. This Jake didn't kill anyone, but he's getting 60 years, and it does go to show, just actually I want to read this as well. It does go to show the wickedness and the harshness in Esau society, and how he has this perpetual hatred towards us. Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So Esau does have a perpetual hatred towards us, and he is exercising that through stuff like this. All right, Nick F J, I don't know how to say that name, Slakia. This is not a judge showing mercy. It is a judge showing a total lack of impulse control. It is scary to think about the fact that somebody with this much power could give you a life behind bars just because he woke up on the wrong side of the bed that morning. So this is a perfect example of that, and it does go to show that these judges can truly do whatever they want to our lives. All right. Whatever they want with our lives, and when we are in the courts and they can just do whatever they want, they can or they can either make it as extreme, or they can pretend like they're showing mercy when in actuality they are not showing mercy. They're just showing how much power they have, flexing their power on Jake. Okay. Yeah. So, mommy issue ASMR, I guess. Imagine if the kid never had Imagine if the kid never actually apologized and asked for forgiveness. What a joke of oak. So yes, I agree. Even if he didn't, it's like firstly, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. That's number one. And number two is just the fact that, just because they apologize, or just because you looked at the judge funny, or just because you weren't kissing their ass, then that means that, okay, you're gonna get a life sentence. Okay, so this is how the Babylonian justice, quote unquote, justice system, or the injustice system is. All right. Yes, this is. You can see stuff like this. that is pretty funny when they put it like this. Yeah, this is actually pretty garbage. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. Isaiah chapter 10 from the top. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So they have their unrighteous decrees that they want, that they set in place, which we see in the video, and the judgment that they had. I think they said what? 5 years ago. What's the name of this guy?
Bob Norman reports today the judge who handed out the harsh sentence had a dramatic change of heart.
Herbert Smith. Herbert Smith. What the fuck? Probation. Crazy that we're going through this. Okay, so yes, here's the follow-up, and sadly he is back in jail. Let's see, I guess what's the second thing is. Let's see. This should be interesting, I guess.
Major update on our one and only exclusive investigation stretching back more than a year.
A man was facing 60 years in prison over a traffic stop, but the community now all of that is in jeopardy. Local 10 News reporter Carlos Suarez live now with more on this one. Carlos.
Calvin and Lori, it appears that this story ends with how it began. According to the Sun Sentinel, the 24-year-old was arrested again for breaking into another home, this time in Parkland back in September. A chance at redemption thrown away. According to the Sun Sentinel, 24-year-old Herbert Smith is back in jail a year after a judge cut him a break in a move that drew both praise and scrutiny.
I have decided to suspend your sentence of 60 years. Which path will you choose?
That was Judge Matthew Destry last fall when he suspended Smith's 60-year prison sentence for a series of robberies. The case drew national attention because it was harsh. A petition is circulated online, and community leaders later implored the judge to give Smith another chance.
I'm here to say that 60 years just does not seem fair and reasonable.
Judge Destry later resigned after it surfaced that one of the people that agreed to mentor Smith worked on Destry's campaign. Smith went on to get a full-time job at a landscaping company whose owner knew firsthand the reality of trying to get work as a convict.
I'm actually working now. I can't believe it. I'm living a regular life like everyone else.
Herbert is like a sponge. You show him what to do and tell him what to do once, picks it right up. It's a very smart man.
Smith's boss said he stopped working at the company months ago, but still feels people deserve a second opportunity at life. And so tonight, Smith sits in jail behind me. He's expected in court on Tuesday for the most recent break-in. He'll then have another court hearing later in the week for violating his probation. We are live tonight in Fort Lauderdale. I'm Carlos Suarez.
Okay, so they did not say the thing at this time. Okay, it sucks, sure, but and now you have people. Now you have people. Okay, sure. He should be held accountable, of course. But 60 years for violating probation is actually just insane. If they were gonna do stuff like this, then where is it for the murderers and all these other things? And he's dead now. Okay, never mind then. That's insane. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, we got an update. He went back. He went back and did the stuff again. Then he died in 2020, so 4 years ago. Unfortunate, but whatever. That's not the main thing. The main thing is the fact that he decided not to think. The main thing was the judges that they were trying to, give any reason to give Jake an extreme sentence, like 60 years for driving without a license, 60 years for stealing. Yes, stealing is bad, obviously, all right, but it's not enough. It's not as bad as murdering someone, all right. And this is why these are just like, oh, it's emotional. Like, what do I want to give you at this point in time? What do I want to give you right now? And that's how how Babylon decides prison time clearly. All right, it's pretty ridiculous. Let me see. How many years do you get? Murder. I don't know why. Okay, whatever. 25 years. Okay, crazy. 25 years. 25 years. So, breaking probation. So, okay, so what? 4 years? Three years, okay? Like, this is crazy. And he just gave him 60. Like, he was gonna give him 60. Like, again, like, we see how unrighteous Esau is, just like making shit up. They're not following after their own thing. Luke chapter 21 verse 17, and you shall be hated of all men for my name. Well, that's not the right one. Slakia. John chapter, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. So at the end of the day, the world is going to hate us for being Israelites. That world's also going to hate us for being in this truth. And that's there is a difference, but for the most part, I do want to hark on the fact that being an Israelite, okay, being an Israelite, we're going to be getting hate, not so much as being in this truth. Okay. In addition to that, we also have this First Peter chapter 4 verse 17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahawah, and if it first begin at us, what them that obey not the gospel of Yahawah. So yes, it says the house of Yahawah, as in people that are in this truth, but at the same time it also starts with the house of Israel, okay, or the Israelites, all right, meaning Jake, the 2/3. So the 2/3 are going to go through stuff of as well. Well, not necessarily Slakia, just the understanding is the fact that that the Israelites need to be punished first, which is why we're being punished in the first place. That's why we're in captivity right now, okay, going through our hardships. Or 1/3, there's no what's a word called distinction in the sense that we're all in captivity. So yes, it's both of them are going through stuff. They're going through the punishments and the captivity, and it starts with us, and then how much more is going to be for the heathens. All right, so there will come a time soon when all these curses are going to be transferred, that's another thing. The curses that we're going through, the curses that 2/3 are going through, it's going to be transferred onto to all the heathens, our enemies. All right. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, a Baba Ball, and Shalom.